my god, I cannot f***ing believe this. Here we f***ing go.
Pretty sure we've landed on the actual title of my sex tape.
Discount Jeremy makes a cringy sex tape joke that isn't funny cliche.
Something, 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 turkey callback, something, something, Rick's pixelated. Improv, the rest is how I guess this scene was written.
And the sin is... Oh, sorry, there isn't one. Why would you say anything here then? Are we padding the runtime? I think we're padding the runtime.
Also, Rick's turkey feathers fall out, and I can't help but wonder what part of his human body is forever transmuted, laying forgotten on the cold concrete of the back porch.
So the episode made a mistake because you're taking it too literally? That's dumb.
Heard you smack the glass, Dad.
She knows the sound of turkey smacking glass? That is oddly specific and highly suspicious.
She heard something smack the glass. Nobody ever said she knew it was a turkey specifically, just that she was able to put two and two together and realize that something weird happening at their house is probably being caused by Rick.
Rick, put some pants on. Today has so few rules.
Jerry doesn't acknowledge that wearing pants inside the home is a courtesy we afford to our loved ones and not an obligation or requirement under the law.
So the sin is that Jerry said the word rules and you took that to mean he believes being fully clothed is a law? Do you see why I sin the Sins writers for being remarkably unfunny and annoying?
Also, if there are too few rules, then perhaps there should be more rules. For example, one must wear clothing before entering the dining room. Be specific if you don't want to see Rick's dangle doodles. You know he's a nudist.
Again, this sin means absolutely nothing because it's completely inconsequential to the episode and everybody watching. Regardless, Jerry never said too few rules, he said so few rules. So either way, you're manipulating the dialogue to force an unnecessary sin out of this scene.
Ding, ding, ding.
Whoa, 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 you have to be careful with that sacred word. You just can't go around sinning yourself like that. You reference your own sins enough as it is. Leave some fun for us.
Fun? These videos haven't been fun in a very long time, my man.
Can we please have a normal Thanksgiving?
Does Beth actually think anything normal is possible with her family? And what does normal even mean anyway?
Normal means no sci-fi shenanigans, and based on the fact that she just said she wants a normal Thanksgiving, yes, she does think it's possible. If you would stop talking over the episode, you might actually catch some of these details.
I will never miss an opportunity to send the Thanksgiving Jell-O mold.
Skip.
Holding your glass like this. I mean, animating your character to hold a glass like this. Move the thumb laterally for balance to avoid the glass accidentally flipping out of the grip.
You know, maybe Rick just isn't a weak little bitch who's incapable of holding a wine glass steady like you must be. That's not a sin on the episode. That's a sin on you. The next two sins are a running gag the TVSins writers have started where they sin characters for not getting consent to do something to them, which I think is meant to be funny, but it just falls flat on its face every single time they do it.
Bro, tell your son you love the shit out of him. Oh, I'm gonna.
This is touching in a weird way, and I don't like it when I'm touched in a weird way.
Discount Jeremy makes a cringy sexual joke that isn't funny cliche.
We do share a shitty back.
You don't, though. You share a point in time with specifically replicated DNA, but then both Beths have individual opportunities to find a way to heal their backs.
Yup, but none of that is a sin of the episode, though. They were just saying that both of them have back problems because they share the same base DNA.
Floppy dropulites have less taste buds than humans. Their ice cream is like a hospital bed. It's designed for you to do less so it does more.
Wouldn't this mean their tongues are less sensitive and require more flavor to elicit the same effect? And yes, that would mean the food is doing more, but unlike hospital food or its beds, the flavor would be overwhelming.
So you contradicted yourself in this sin and then still counted it? That's weird. You'd think that they would remove such an obvious mistake from their video, but I guess the watch time is too precious.
You have your own space station?
But you said earlier,
I'll sleep in my car. It's got a TARDIS thing going on bigger on the inside.
an admission that renders a space station pointless and redundant.
Wait, what? Are you saying that Beth having a comfortable spaceship makes her having a space station pointless? Think about it in terms of the real world. The spaceship is like her car and the space station is like her house, so she lives in the station but can still sleep in her ship, if she's at someone else's house. None of this is difficult to understand at all.
We're the same person.
They are not.
Dude, the point is that they come from the same DNA, so their, for lack of a better term, premise is the exact same. They're not talking about experiences or anything like that right now.
I want you back in my guts like I'm one of your sick little fillies.
Is actually something that Beth said to herself that I now must consider when thinking of this episode later.
Indeed, which is not a sin because it's simply two characters being characters. Just because it's fucked up doesn't mean it's a sin.
Species of bionic space whale has carbon wiring.
Show forgets that we were dismissing most of the things of the show because of portal travel. It doesn't bother explaining how or why Rick has a space whale prepped and ready to go on the operating table just in case.
He didn't. He obviously had to get it from somewhere. And even if he already had it, we can safely assume he was keeping it in storage somewhere. You don't need to be outright deceitful to your audience. You can be honest with us.
I'm not killing it, for the record.
Carry on with your shocking space species shenanigans, sir, but perhaps install some sort of grate in the floor for goop cleanup? I mean, we know there is a hatch down there somewhere, but mopping up victims' gore must be exhausting.
Everything wrong with Bethic Twinstinct, ladies and gentlemen. A super genius is making a mess which he totally won't be able to clean up in seconds with some kind of technology.
I'm just saying, lies pile up, like credit card debt. You retain an advantage by staying liquid.
Rick doesn't have this live your truth sign hanging next to the live, love, laugh one in his knitting den.
Unfunny joke is unfunny.
Are we in love with ourselves? I mean, does that make us the most or the least healthy woman in the universe?
This is a wild hypothetical, and I'm happy it's being explored. But it also feels like a fanboy's fantasy being exploited on a dark website, swimming through the adultness of the internet that I should not be exploring. My boner is so confused right now.
Discount Jeremy says boner. Also, he said he's happy it's being explored, so Discount Jeremy sends something he likes cliche.
Holy shit, you did a full San Junipero in here?
If they could pull a full San Junipero and Rick Sutton holodeck, then why does Rick even need to go to Blitz and Shits to play Roy?
He probably doesn't need to, but he still likes it because going to Blitz and Shits is a whole experience. It's like saying why go to a football game in person when you can just watch it at home.
Not ironing down the letter on your jacket.
Not pointing things out on the screen. I mean, pointing things out on the screen.
These tattoos could win on Ink Master, and I can't send that. But I can send having an ass this shiny.
Discount Jeremy hates ass.
It's a cool power to have, like if you have to fly coach or if Summer asked you what you thought of Wonder Woman 1984.
Thinking that Summer would not only watch Wonder Woman 1984, but then also ask her potato of a dad for his opinion.
I feel like it's totally plausible for Summer to do exactly that just to fuck with Jerry, actually.
This entire sequence reminds me of my hatred of the word forest. I was once told that if I was confused about how to spell desert versus dessert, that the extra S in dessert was like an extra helping of sweet, yummy goodness. And that helped me. But you can't use that same logic for forest versus forest, so you would think that the extra R would mean lots more trees, so add the extra R in a word defining a place with a ton of fucking trees. But that is incorrect. So the sin, as always, is the English language.
Everything wrong with Rick and Morty, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron is stupid.
God, what happens in the shadows?
Considering they follow this up with
Vampires? Oh, come on, that's not realistic.
I'm guessing the writers know exactly what they do in the shadows.
A whole bunch of unfunny bullshit.
Plot twist, Deus ex-husbanda.
What is happening? F***ing Rick and Morty taking another one of my favorite sins? Are the writers trolling me? All right, we've got to find out.
Skip.
Having many of the same shirt in the same color.
Pointing things out on the same screen. Or same color. Or, I mean, same show. Wait.
Well, hold on. This is weird.
Weird and permitted.
This weird permitted versus not permitted assessment goes on for all the uncomfortable twincesty amounts of Jerry being aroused times.
Which you think is a sin? Why? Sure, it's fucked up, but you're supposed to be pointing out flaws of the episode, not just saying when something fucked up happens.
They are still eating off the bird for dinner? Man, you pick it clean for meat for easy snacking later and chuck the bones in the bin. There is no reason to shove a carcass into the fridge and take up all that precious space.
So you're ignoring the fact that everyone in the family just had a really weird day where none of them would realistically be paying any attention to the turkey of all things? Okay.
Probably the most sinful part of this Thanksgiving dinner is the family can hear the threesome upstairs at all. Beth and Jerry's bedroom is here, and the dinner is here, so the sound of their conversation is pressing through the barely overlapped section of their room in the entryway and wafting into the dining room to be heard perfectly.
That's actually not unrealistic at all. How shitty is your hearing? Do you need hearing aids? Or are you just putting on a front to try and squeeze another sin out of this episode?
Disrespecting the garbage disposal.
Pointing things out on the garbage disposal, I mean the screen.
It says it's mayonnaise, ketchup, and wash your sister's sauce.
Did you just say wash your sister's sauce? First off, you shouldn't be washing your sister.